let's get to know about this very insightful topic we title Healthy versus Narcissist Relationship. I'm eager to learn, and I'm sure you are too. So sit back and let's introduce our interesting couple for this discussion. Sir Amaya, welcome to Mama J's Talk Show.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for having me in your very humble home. Sir, please can we get to know you?
Yeah, I'm Mr. Alabis, and my wife, Mrs. Alabis. And this is our little baby. I'm sure she will also partake in the discussion.
Yeah, oh, welcome. Baby girl, good to have you. I'm sure you will answer one question for us. Okay, so let's dive into the discussion. We are treating the topic healthy versus narcissist relationship. We'll start with Daddy. Daddy, please can you help us just define in your own perspective what a healthy and a narcissist relationship look like?
Yeah, a narcissist, I see it as when you talk about individual having reasonable high sense of self-importance. You know, they have this kind of self-importance and usually consistent. They believe it's just the best they should have, and they always have this excessive admiration. They are always preoccupied with fantasy about success, power, brilliancy, beauty, and perfect mate. Now, when you talk about perfect mate, they see it like this person must be exactly what I want. When that thing is not exactly what they want, it becomes a serious problem. You know, when you are talking about this kind of people, they need and seek too much attention, and they want people to admire them. They lack ability to understand and care about the feelings of other people. They don't care about the feelings of other people. They can do anything. They don't mind whether the person they are talking to feels odd or it doesn't feel odd. Their own is just that they only want to say what comes to their mouth, what comes to their heart at any time. And another thing that I want to say about these people is that they are always right. They believe they are always right. And another thing about this kind of people is that they are not always sure of their self-worth, and they are easily upset by slight criticism. When you just say anything about them, they flare up, they get anger, and they feel like, why? Because they believe naturally they are right. Now, this group of individuals may be generally unhappy and disappointed when they are not given the special favor they actually require. There's always something they required, and if they didn't see it, they feel unhappy and say, why am I here? They feel really unhappy and disappointed. And another thing I need to make mention before my wife comes in is that they also believe this category of people, they believe they deserve everything. They are just the best. And they often find their relationship troubled and unfulfilling. They give people around themselves, they give people around them headache. They make people around them to be they make them feel bad because they don't really see that they have done anything wrong, or maybe they are doing anybody any harm. They just do their thing and they just go. They are quick to find fault and always nagging. So I think I'll stop here for now so that my wife can add to what I've said.
Wow, thank you, sir, for that. Yeah.
Well, I don't have much to add because he has said basically what it is. But since you say we should just do the definition, I think a healthy relationship is a type of relationship in which there is imbalance. There is no imbalance of power. It's like there is trust, there is open communication, everything is balanced. There is honesty, then there is empathy as well. Because for the other type of relationship, just like you said, it's basically for self-centered person. And you know, when we talk about self, it means we are taking away what belongs to any other person. We don't. Whoever is in such a relationship don't feel for the other party. It's all about you, your goal, your vision, not our goal, not our vision, not our mission statement, not how we progress. It is how I want to progress. So if one is in such a relationship, there is difference between the healthy relationship and the so. In short, I would just say it is extremely self-centered relationship because it's all about the person in such a relationship doesn't care about the other party. For me, I would have said it's a type of parasitic relationship
because the one side.
Yes. So the other part, one side will be like the host, while the other side will be like the parasite. And parasites destroy the host.
Wow, it's insightful. Viewers, need we say more? I think our guest has done justice in explaining what the narcissistic tendency is all about, and I will appreciate. So we just wanted to know more about the differences between the narcissist and the healthy relationship. Just in case there's someone watching and needs to be able to differentiate between both. Sir, please can you help us throw more light on that?
Yeah, looking at this narcissist category of people, one of their characteristics is that they are critical and they look down. They look down on people. They feel that this person is not important. So why should I really give him my time? Regardless, even imagine a situation whereby they are husband or wife. Imagine a situation whereby the husband and the wife now begin to look down. I mean, the husband now begin to look down on the wife that you don't deserve me. I am much more than what you think. So imagine in such a case, why did you even choose to marry the woman when you know that you deserve much more and you are so much higher than her? Now, this category of people, they are superior. They are superior to others and can only spend time or understood people they are equally special. They are special with. They believe that yes, this person is my equal. My wife is not my equal, so I don't think I can spend my time with him or her because this person doesn't have the same understanding as I am. Is beyond my level. Now they take advantage of others. They make achievement and talent seem bigger. They feel they deserve privilege and special treatment. Now, another thing I observe about this category of people from my findings is that they have an ability and unwillingness to recognize the needs and feelings of others. Now they behave arrogantly and brag a lot, and they are always proud. Now they insist on having the best thing. Now they are envious of others and believe others envy them. They use insulting language frequently. They don't avoid using. They use it. They believe it is a natural way of relating with people. Now they range, they scream at any slightest error. Now another thing is that they criticize people. They criticize people. Maybe their partner or maybe the people around them for not living up to high standard. They believe that you must be of high standard. Like you can see some women, you cannot go out with me. Some men will say, you cannot go out with me because look at the way you are dressed. Look at the way you are. You cannot go out with me. You don't deserve me. You don't deserve me. Now, when you see people behaving like this, they belong to that category of a narcissist. Now, when you look at the healthy relationship, they are fear and consequence. when they talk, now if everything I've said is just the opposite of a healthy relationship. Everything I've said about the narcissist is just the opposite of the healthy relationship. So someone who has want to live elderly would want everything balanced. There's always a check and balance in everything we do in life. But when there is no check and balance, but someone think he is the superior or probably is far better than the other partner, or maybe in their offices. All these things will happen in offices and even in our schools. There are people that have all these kind of characters. And you see, one of the problems with this kind of character is that people isolate themselves from people like that. So let me rest so that my wife can contribute to what I've said.
Thank you, sir. Now let's hear from you.
Okay, for me, I would say the difference between the two types of relationship, the elder relationship and the narcissist relationship is, the elder relationship is not abusive. Why the narcissist relationship is abusive? When something is all about you, when you believe it's all about you, it's like you see other people as they are just being privileged to have you, but you are the main person. So if things are not working the way you see it, there will be catastrophe. You can be fighting the other party. So that's why I say it is abusive, right? Healthy relationship is not abusive. Then just like I said that a narcissist relationship is self-centered. It's all about somebody. But in healthy relationship, it is selfless. It's about the two parties involved, whether in marriage, whether at your place of work, whether in church, wherever we find ourselves. It is selfless. We don't see self in that. We can do things for others without thinking of the benefits we will have at the end of it. But narcissist relationship, basically, when they do something for you, they're expecting something in return because they believe it's all about them. So they do that thing so that they will earn something in return. In such a case. And then in the elder relationship, either of the two parties, whether the man or the woman or whether the other friend or the two parties involved in any of the relationship, they are being loved for exactly who they are. Not because I won't love my husband because of what he will offer me. Maybe he promised that he will take me abroad. And if he fails to do that, it's a problem. Or maybe I have a friend because of what I'm benefiting from my friend. Maybe the way he used to give me money or this, that. The very day he stopped giving me money, then I will hurt them. So we love, in an elder relationship, there is mutual love. We love somebody for who the person is, irrespective of his or her character. Why in a narcissistic relationship there is nothing of such. Then, elder relationship is like a teamwork because we come together in openness. We agree on what to do together. Okay, this is my vision. This is yours. How can we incorporate yours into mine? Even as friends, the relationship is divine. We know whether marriage relationship, marital relationship, or normal friendship, maybe at school or church, or we have to have same goal, same vision. Because if we don't have, the friendship will not be what it's supposed to be. So it's like a teamwork, whereas narcissism is not. It's totally out of it. It's all about something.
Selfish. Wow. It was, I hope you are gaining from this so much to read from. Thank you, Sir Amma, for highlighting these major differences. I believe that singles in the house watching are paying attention and listening because some of these characters we've all mentioned alongside in the discussion are things that people might often notice before they go to marriage, but probably because they think that the person might adjust, they ignore it and they just grow oblivious of it. So moving on, sir, we would like to understand also, how possible is it to engage in a healthy relationship with a narcissist? Is it possible to try to inculcate a healthy relationship with a person or a spouse that is showing these narcissist tendencies you have mentioned for us?
And anyone is in such a relationship and they are looking for a way out. You see, one thing I always advise people, particularly I'll start by talking to the singles. Before you go into marriage, know the woman or the man you want to marry. Be sure you can cope with that attitude. Not only prayer, sometimes after you have prayed, also be sure of the behavior of that person. Not only prayer alone. When you pray, even when God is saying yes, and you know you cannot cope with that sister or that brother, it's better not to go into that relationship. Now, but in a situation whereby you are already in the relationship and you are looking for a way out, one of those things that I would advise any couple to do is that one, you don't take behavior personal with someone who is a narcissist. Don't take behavior personal. Always try as much as possible to discuss. Don't take it personal. Maybe the person has actually said something that you don't actually like. Don't take it personal. Look for a way to discuss with the person. That's one thing I would first of all mention here. Another thing is that learn to set boundaries. Now, someone who is a narcissist don't set boundaries. They believe they have all the ground and they can do whatsoever they should do. So they don't have consideration for the other party. They believe I have the whole right to do whatsoever I need to do. And in this case, I would advise that in such a case, try as much as possible to set a boundary and always let the other party knows that, please look at this boundary. Please try as much as possible. Don't fight, just let's communicate all the time. Don't get tired of communicating. Keep communicating. Because the reason why you just have to keep communicating is because you can never be sure whether such a person can stop that behavior. Because it's part of the person. Now, another thing I will mention here is that tell him or her to stop stop using abusive words or some kind of action that would put you off. You discuss issue. Please stop using this thing. Don't fight, but all you just need to keep doing is that just discuss, negotiate. Now, this thing will not be the best for us. Why don't you think that you should stop this thing? If you stop it will help us to become more better and become more closer. And another thing is that don't give him the power to ruin your emotions with the big mouth such a person has. Now, he can say, one of those things about this narcissist is that they believe they can say anything. Don't allow such a person, or maybe your husband, or maybe your wife, to ruin your emotion with such kinds of words. When she comes up with it, try to put it off your head, because you have better days ahead. Now, another thing is that instead of fighting on things that are just minor, there are things you can use. There are better ways you can actually engage him or her in such a way that you will help him to be able to have a kind of thinking, a resolution that, even if he will not listen at a time, but he will sit back at a time and say, no, this what this man or this man is saying is right. I need to have to change. Then another thing is practice positive self-affirmation. Because one of those things is that a narcissist will come and say something very, very negative. So, but always have positive affirmation in you that is not my portion. I am blessed. I am great. Now, be positive about yourself. Now, before I allow my wife to speak, now engage in self-care. Maintain supportive relationship. Now, insist that your partner go for counseling. That's another thing I would mention here.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, sir. I like the issue of the affirmations because when dealing with narcissist tendencies, it's easy for you to, absorb all that is coming from the words, which are not often true, but using the affirmations, and I think the word of God, what God says about you, is very paramount. And this is for relationships that, one is just trying, is already in there. And we pray that God will give such marriages and relationships the grace. If it's still a relationship or in the courtship stage, I believe that something could be done to prevent harm in the future. But unfortunately for marriages, I don't know. I don't preach divorce, but I believe that God's grace and then God's guidance on leading will be the best option. And just as our guest has already pointed out, it's good to seek counseling. I think counseling goes a long way. When people are not able to understand or even admit that they are showing these tendencies, counseling might go a long way to help. So I really appreciate this point. Men, can you just support what Danny has said so far? Thank you.
I will take it up from where you said acceptance. When we're in a relationship with a narcissist, I think the first thing is we should be able to accept who the person is. Once we are able to accept, okay, this is who he is, or this is who she is, then I think we'll have a better understanding of your personality. And just like we have been saying, this narcissism is like is a disorder. It's genetic for some people. So just like my husband said that it's good to go for counseling. When we observe such an individual, it will be advisable for the person also to go for counseling, or we assist the person to look for a godly counselor that can assist to counsel him or her. And also, we should understand the feeling behind their reaction and communicate to them how they feel. For them to react in a particular way, the other party involved in the relationship should be able to understand the feelings behind their reaction. Once we know that this their reaction is all about self, we shouldn't take it too personal on that. We should have the understanding that this is how this person is. Because when we understand someone, even if the person goes wrong, we will not be that angry. We'll be able to understand where he or she is coming from and where he or she is going to land. And he said something about the boundary. For us to enjoy a relationship with a narcissist, we need to set limits and boundary or unrealistic expectation. We shouldn't give it for them. Because they are self-centered, they come with unrealistic expectation at times, something that is not real, but they want it for themselves. In such a case, the other party shouldn't give in. We should set limits and boundaries. Let them know that this is the limit, this is the boundary, this is how far I can go with this. And also, we should not confront their behavior or react. When they behave the way they want to behave, don't let us confront them. Because when we confront them, it's like they're attacking them. They get defensive and there will be chaos. But they will be defensive and it will lead to, if it's marriage, it can lead to divorce. If it is friendship as well, the friendship can hit a rock. So to avoid that. So to avoid that, I think that's all I have to say about that.
Wow, you both have really expatiated so much on dealing with these narcissist tendencies. And I've come across issues or situations where narcissist tendencies were as a result of the person's upbringing and family orientation, maybe probably from a dysfunctional family. And there are people that actually they don't want to, but they just find themselves, showing those tendencies, and they actually get remorseful at some point in time. I just want you to advise maybe singles watching, if they are dating such a person, that often finds himself or herself with these tendencies and actually needs help or is willing to, adjust. What do you think about, going ahead and getting married to such a person? So please, can you help us?
I think the other time I mentioned clearly, it is not for me. I think a narcissist behavior or something you have formed over a period of time, or probably is an inherited habit. They are difficult to do away with. They are so much difficult to do away with. Something that has grown in a person over a period of time. So now, what I will say, I will give an illustration. I have a particular family that the husband and wife, both of them were idiots. And they told them not to get married. But the man said, no, we are going to get married. And today their marriage is still standing.
Wow.
They have their children, none of them, they have two, they have one A, they have one SS, they have CS. But they were able to manage. In short, I heard that at the time they went to pray. And I think the first one that happened to be SS, I think if I'm sure now, the girl is about to finish senior secondary school certificate.
Wow.
So what I'm saying here is that if you are very, very sure that, well, you can tolerate and maybe you believe you can pray and you can change, well, I will advise you to continue. But if you know that you cannot control it, to a large extent, I can say it is difficult to control. What you cannot control, you cannot stop it when you get married. What you cannot control in your courtship, don't say you will control it when you get to marriage. So it is better to either you stop it or you pray it and be sure that that thing will stop before even you go into the marriage. Because when you are in the marriage, don't think that what you have not been able to stop when you are in courtship, you will be able to stop it when you get to the marriage. So that's my take about that.
Ma'am, please. You can add one more thing.
What I will have to it is, I will start from the fact that what is said, to me, based on my own knowledge, self is as a result, is a combination of greediness and covetousness. When you see things that belong to someone else and you want it for yourself, or when you want it for yourself, and by all means you want to have it to yourself all alone. Even for example, if somebody had 2 bags, you like the bags, and it's like, oh, I want the 2 bags for myself all alone. Now you want, that's covetousness, and you struggle to have it. Greediness is, you even want, I don't want someone else to have it, I want it for myself. So combination of greediness and covetousness results in self. And when we talk about this self, we talk about self-centeredness, selfishness. They're all the same. It's all about you all alone. So in that case, a single person that wants to get married, and you realize that this person is a narcissist, I think my own advice is a broken relationship is better than marriage. So it's better the person just flee away from such a relationship. But if the person can undo it very well, just like my husband said, but it is easier said than done.
That's true. I wanted to say that.
It is easier said than done. Because during courtship, it's like both parties, the man and the woman, they don't really even show themselves the exact character they exhibit until when they are fully married. Because before marriage, both of them, they are always cautious. But after marriage, they are relaxed, they throw caution into the game. So that's when the real thing
comes out.
And just like my husband said, that it's like an habit that we grow up with. It's genetic at the same time, because it has to do with our temperament.
That's true.
So it's something that is inborn, is inherited, is part of us. So it's called for an individual to discover themselves that, okay, this is me. Then if that person then identify that this is me, I'm a narcissist, maybe he or she will pray about it, then ask for the help of the other party and the Holy Spirit. Can you pray along with me? Then also, Holy Spirit, help me in my day-to-day activity. I think that is when the marriage will be able to work. Even aside marriage, other friendship relationship matters too. Because you see, you have some friends, you just be wondering, how is it like this? How is it? Then another thing is, maybe when we have a friend or we are into any relationship with anybody, maybe propose marriage, and you see that the person is being over pampered. because those are the signs, or like say things that trigger narcissism. He's over pampered, or maybe the other way around. You know, if somebody is not over pampered, it means you are being trained up by over discipline.
Over discipline behavior.
So that's another thing that triggers it. So in such a case, my basic advice is the person should pray about it, or just forfeit the relationship before it's.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, ma'am. I like the fact that you pointed out these two extremes. I never even looked at it from that angle. You know, I've always seen it from the angle of maybe being too pampered and maybe coming from a dysfunctional home. But at the end of the day, you realize that even people that were, you know, excessively disciplined, they possess that narcissist behavior because they expect perfection all the time. They were being trained in that manner.
That's why I say it's temperamental. Many people that has this melancholy temperamentals, they are very temperamental. Many of them exhibit this particular nature we're talking about. Because they want everything to be perfect. Either it's perfect or nothing.
Wow. And you see, another thing is about this kind of relationship. It is natural, like she said, that it can actually come from over discipline, and that over discipline, it makes them feel they don't feel remorse. Someone who is a narcissist, they don't feel remorse. They never want to feel sorry for what they have done. They believe that's what's the shame about him, what's the shame about her. Then go, you know, they feel small hardening in their heart and in their relationship.
Sorry, I just want to say this: pride is another thing. Somebody that is arrogant, because he said it when he was given the termination. Somebody that is arrogant, it's all about them. If you see a proud person will never feel for someone else. A proud person will never have this empathy. Let me put myself in the shoe of others. How are they feeling? They just want me, I must have what I want, I must do this, I must. So once it is not him or her, there is problem. So pride is another thing. So in that case, apart from the fact that, okay, for a single person, I'm sorry, I wouldn't advise a single man or a single woman to marry a proud person. Rather, marry a woman. It's not easy to tame them or to control them.
It's only in the place of the Holy Spirit.
Yes, except if it is God that is leading to him or her, then you know that God will surely be by your side to help you out.
Wow. Viewers, I hope you are gleaning from this. This is a lot of can worms to open, and I think it should give us all, you know, cause to just reflect, you know, and especially for the singles as well, because as much as you want the best for a partner, it's also good for you to check your own excesses in some kind of way, you know. And I pray the Lord will help our singles, you know, watching. The Lord will direct them, the kind of choices they make in terms of courtship and the people they are dating or partner they are dating. So thank you, sir and ma, for how far we've gone with this discussion. We just want to wrap it up with.
Sorry, before we wrap it up, I think I need to mention something here before we wrap it up.
Okay, sir.
Now, this thing we are talking about, I'm sure this is a Christian forum and this is a Christian gathering. Now, this narcissist behavior we are talking about, we are not talking about the people in the world. We are talking about Christians. We are talking about brothers and sisters that are born again. So don't think that maybe when you are talking about narcissists, maybe we are talking about people that are not born again. We are talking about a brother.
It involves them.
Yeah. So I want so that you will have that consciousness that don't say, oh, what is a brother? And you say, no. He's a fire branch. No. He can preach the word of God. No. He's so powerful. And you just say, no.
Thank you so much.
So that is God's feeding for me. And you did not